right? I understood that. So whenever a new guy you have to pitch, you're basically showing the proof of work, saying that these people had certain problems, they use the product, and they're happy, saying that this is what the testimonials say that, and you guys also actually suffering with certain problem, and this is the right product for you guys to take it and just use it and come up with a flying class, right? I think that's what I understood. It's very good insight what you told, that tonality also will actually help to pitch the product in the right sense and give the conviction for the user to take and use the product itself. And you just told me that you've read like a couple of books, right? If I just want to ask one book, like everyone has to read it, like just can't miss that until like in the last in the on the day of deathbed also they should not leave that book. What could be that book?
Well, since we're talking about sales, because there's tons of great books on many subjects, but for sales, personally, I appreciated the book called Question-Based Selling by Thomas Fries.
Okay, so can you just help me just break down what does the summary of this book says?
Yeah, it's really equipping you with the mindset that questions are going to be what lead you to the sale. When you can ask effective questions and in the right order, you're going to guide the prospect through a journey that feels really natural. And it also gets them to see that they do have a problem that they need to solve, and that you have a solution, you're a good fit, and that like there's no reason not to get started today. And that if they don't get started, there's going to be bad things that will happen because the problem will continue and they're not going to have the solution. So it's really, for me at first, I was kind of like that level one salesman where I was just going out and blah, like here's the product, you should buy it, blah, and trying to do volume, like knock, 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 call. But it was not really working. So I had to learn how to use questions to get the customer to start to talk more and to share their story so I could understand where they're coming from and what their pain was and what their goals were. So I could say, oh, that's perfectly aligned with what we're doing. But before, it was so hard before I got the question-based selling. So that would be my book recommendation. Go check it out.
Nice, yeah. I think it's an interesting one. I think I'll definitely do read that book. But like, let's come back to the story, like where we met, right? Like we are in the network school. I just have a couple of questions. Like, what made you to take a decision as a long-termer to stay in this network school? Like, there should be some motivation for you, right? Like from inside, there's something like someone is pushing you. Hurry, you take it for 1 year. That is what a long-termer does. Like he stays in this place for a year. But I just want to understand the motivation. What made you to push to just be a part of network school for a year?
Yeah, the term has come up, dark talent. And at first I was like, what even is that? What is that term? And someone explained it to me as essentially like being rejected by the West, right? The West, for one reason or another, did not receive this talent. And I come from the West, from California, but part of my story is that I went to college in China. I applied only to 6 universities for engineering, and I had good grades, but the California schools said no. They said, you're not going to be admitted to this school. So I'm like, okay. And I was going to study abroad in China because I was doing Chinese in high school. I ended up going freshman year to China. So I ended up becoming a type of black or dark talent, a black sheep, if you will. And so why I'm sharing this is because I've always kind of been against the grain. I've always kind of thought differently and been an outlier. And so I'll lead that into one of the reasons why I came to network school. And then the second big reason is if you've ever read Atomic Habits by James Clear, he talks about the idea that he doesn't want to rely on his discipline and his willpower because those can go up and down. It's harder to be consistent if you're just using your discipline and willpower. So what do? How do we fix that? He talks about designing your environment to make doing the good habits easy, and doing the bad habits, there's resistance. It's hard.
Right.
So, in 2 words, environment upgrade.
Right.
That's the point I got from Atomic Habits. So when I heard about what the network, state, and school is doing, for me, it checked off so many boxes for an upgraded environment. So
Interesting.
that's why I decided to sign up for be a long-termer. The environment of the people, and also in terms of like the lifestyle, the earn, learn, burn fundamentals it's really great for builders, for creators, for people that want to make a big impact and make progress.
Fair. I think you have a good point, like saying that just improving my surroundings will actually move my learning a big upside. There's a lot of potential. That is what, in summary, the place is about, right? But like, have you have any plans, like what you want to do or what you want to build in this 1 year? Like, do you have any particular plans? You want to teach something to people about your all the insightful learning, what have been for past 15, 20 years? You want to teach something like that?
Yeah, right now I applied for the NS trainer role.
Okay.
So I will be waiting to hear back, and upon getting hired, I'll be managing the burn, so all the fitness aspect. And I'll also look to help with the onboarding process so that when they come in, they have an amazing experience coming in, and they get ramped up, and they're starting to be in this new lifestyle, and it feels great for them. They're connecting with others, they're getting a greater physique, greater mental clarity, they're building their business, they're identifying limiting beliefs and deleting them. So
nice, interesting. Okay, I think this would be my last question. If you want to tell one thing, like one event or certain thing which happened for you, which actually changed the perception of life, like one thing, any event or any particular scenario you can say which has happened to you, like it made you a better person on or in the right direction.
yeah, well, that's a great question, and there's lots of different life experiences I've had.
What could be the recent one, like before NS, something like that, which made you to think to take a part on in network school for a year, or it could be a year and a half back, like something happened which changed your perception of life. This were your priority, and now you're just changing your priority to something else. Like some people, maybe like today I am just running behind certain things. Maybe after a certain time, I might be just moving to something else, right?
Yeah, okay. So in terms of recency bias, and you brought up if something related to recent network school stuff. So it would be the network school. The third thing that I can put as being, the dark talent, upgrading my environment, you don't know what you don't know. This is something my father has told me several times to drill in me, that there's some things that we know that we aren't aware of. Like maybe I don't know how to make sushi. I know that. I know I don't know how to make sushi.
Right.
But there's some things I don't even realize that I don't know.
Right.
And coming into the network school, there's stuff about the template of building a new country. I had no idea really that they were doing this. Right. And people watching this might even not understand what I'm saying now. So you can go look up Balaji and see what he's doing with the network school and the network state model. But they're making a new country, just like we've had a new currency with crypto. And just like the internet created a new communication medium, it's similar, and it's going to have a big impact as far as the earth becoming more efficient with the way that we operate. So that has been an event recently that changed my life, is coming here and learning about the things I didn't even realize I didn't know. And the reason why that's so important for me and for everyone watching is that it's going to be happening. It's going to be impacting the world. There's going to be waves that come because of this. And not only is there good impact, but there's a lot of other things like these legacy, older nation states like the USA, other countries that are operating on the old model, where there's going to be more problems, it looks like, occurring. And so there seems to be a big transition point, and I didn't fully understand that, and now I do. So this experience of learning that has changed my life. It's given me the opportunity to better position myself during this massive change that we're going through in the 21st century.
Interesting. I think you actually gave an overview or a macro view of what network school actually does here. It's people with different domain are coming here. Dark talent people are coming here, working along with few people or exploring, teaching, burning. The concept of network school is learn, earn, burn. And it's a loop. It's a good loop where all the good habits are near to you, means you just will be adopted easily. All the bad stuff are just being far. Like you don't drink here, you don't smoke here. Very few people I see people do here, right? That's the nature, right? When your people around, smarter people around, you'll be the sixth one in the room who's the smartest one. That's what the network school is doing. We all are doing, right? Yes. And every day we go through a lot of sessions. Like I met a psychology guy, I met a sales guy, I met a developer, I met people who are working on different projects. Like you told me something that you'll think like, oh, you didn't even know this. They were existing, right?
Yeah.
There are projects which I never thought this could be a project at all. People are solving so complex problems where somewhere people might be thinking, oh, this problem is not a problem at all. I think this is a place where you'll see the micro and macro level of problems and people working on the solution. That's a big advantage of the place. And as I said, we all do enjoy as well. We just meet, we have parties and all. I think it's sad that it's coming to end. Like we just had a deep conversations and insights about the sales and psychology, how things go hand in hand. But as we might plan something else again to come up with another podcast about sales or psychology and understand more insights about how sales and psychology go hand in hand, how to improve the sales and how as a person to just make himself psychologically good, so that in order to place him in the right direction, right? This and all we can do. I know we have had a couple of discussion on this inner insights on the human psychology as well. We can do that, definitely we can do that. But I really appreciate Brax to be part of this podcast and giving us a deep insights on the psychology and sales. I really appreciate Brax. I think I'll be very happy to see you around in another podcast. And until then, guys, see you around. Brax, want to say something at last?
And I'll pause. I'll think. I don't know. Let me think. You can do the edit here.
yeah, sure. I think a couple of places I had to do.
Just thinking about the theme of the conversation and who's listening. Let me think. Yeah. So thinking about when I was at Yelp in that transition from doing sales at a big corporation that I have a consistent, safe paycheck and going out to do something on my own, right? It was a risk. And so my advice to people, like I looked at, what is the worst thing that could happen? What is the nightmare? Because I was scared. I was scared to take this risk, but the only reason I was able to do it is because I wrote down, like, what is the worst thing that can happen? And then if that happens, what will I do next to recover? And what's actually more probable that will happen? And so that writing that down, and this is from Tim Ferriss. He has the fear-setting questions, if you can look that up. 7 fear-setting questions. It's from his 4-hour work week. They got me to take the leap and actually go start my own business. And even though that business didn't continue on, I learned so much from that. And it got me to move on and gave me some other opportunities. So my words of advice are bet on yourself, be willing to take calculated risks, and you'll find oftentimes what you're fearing, it's often way over exaggerated in your mind. So
I think one common thing me and Brax had, I think I was a product manager like a couple of months ago. Like it's been almost 1 month. I just left my job. I left a job without having any backup. And there's a particular thing where I read in one of the books, I don't remember. I think there's something called as margin of safety. The margin of safety says that if you fall something, what will be your bedrock? My bedrock was like I might just land in another job. That is what, right? Like you made a good name, the company, and you want to try something else. I'm like, okay, fine. Most of the people told, no, this is a wrong option, what you're doing. Like most of the traditional people want to just jump one job to other job, doing nothing, doing many things in that particular role. But I just chose not to do that. Take a break for a month or 2 months. Being part of network school, something that I am like, most of the people like, why you're just wasting even 2 months? It's 2 months of salary. But the margin of safety concept just hit me so hard, saying that, okay, you are trying something new, and if you fail, this is what your bedrock would be for. Like you'll again start up somewhere in that particular role.
Yeah.
So there's no worry. It's just maybe a couple of pennies which you will be missing for this 2 months, but definitely you can fill with a lot of experience and new learning. That's where I always think like as we all grow, you should be able to take a better risk in sense, like better margin of safety. Tomorrow, again after 5 years, I might be having the same scenario of leaving my job, but the bedrock would be a better position than the last 5 years back. Right? You should make the bedrock better and better, right? That's how you become successful in a business, whatever you do. You see, everyone, just don't stick in the particular job and do certain things. I think you see Balaji, you see everyone, they parallel build their business, their own branding. As a person, they build a brand. Brags, they might be having brags for a sales or psychology, something that. Dhanush, it could be something for the RW or something. So people should recognize on the work, right, that you can parallelly build, not just sitting in your own company, on the company where you work. That's all for this podcast, guys. I think we had a great insights on this thing. And the last stretch, I think most of the people will enjoy the deep conversation, like of taking a break or not taking a break and all. But I think a lot of people would at least learn something new from this particular discussion what we had today. Thank you, Brax. I really appreciate. And guys, next I'll bring a fun, more interesting talks, and let's see who's the next guest and understand something new and learn something new every day. Bye bye, guys.
See ya.
See you. Bye. I hope it went well.